Welcome back, Love Stylers. I'm back. Misty here to talk to you about my second completed year on the carnivore diet. Now, I am not 100% carnivore, so let me preface that I am a 90% carnivore eater and 10% keto and other foods. Because, sometimes you cannot be perfect, and the carnivore diet can be restrictive in some ways. Stick around till the end because I have a truth bomb for you, and I'm going to point out some stuff today that I love about the carnivore diet and a few challenges in case you're thinking of trying this. If you love meat, if you love dairy and you love eggs, please listen to this whole thing and watch some other videos because I love this lifestyle. I love it so much. I am growing and ascending so much as a human since I started eating more protein in my life, getting rid of the other stuff. Now that is me. And I did lose 55 pounds in 8 sizes between the keto diet, which I started 4 years ago, and then over to carnivore halfway through, and here we are. I cured my eczema for the most part. I still have a little bit that I have to deal with. I also got rid of my high blood pressure. I'm on no meds now, and I kicked my alcoholism. So I'm very proud of these 3 things, and these are the main things that carnivore has brought me. And if you've never done this diet before, I implore you to listen to this whole video. So the first part is your healing first. So why would you move over to a carnivore diet, Misty, instead of like keto? Well, they're both very similar. And a lot of people may not know this information, but the carnivore diet is more straight to the healing. If I had to separate it from keto, I would say it gets it done faster. Now, it gets the healing done faster with your gut, with some sludge your body is trying to clear, with the toxins that have built up year after year, between stress, between eating packaged foods like a lot of us Gen Xers have done, a lot of bread at the table, a big thing of country crock and parquet margarine. These are habits that were beyond our control when we were children. And our parents said, just finish your plate and be quiet and eat what I give you. We might not have had a lot of money growing up. And this is like off the topic, but on the topic. But we got into these behaviors or patterns of finish what's on your plate. So you ate what they gave you to eat. Now, there was always a starch. And there was always bread and butter, it seemed like, back in the 80s. That was like a staple for a family meal. And I don't know if any of you guys ate bread and butter on the table every night with your family when you were a child. Please comment. I want to know I'm not alone here because I kind of want to blame it on my parents. And maybe they can blame it on their parents for saying, be grateful for the food that you have and fill up on that bread and butter. And I know that I brought that into adulthood. I gave up bread 4 years ago when I started keto, and I never really realized how bad bread and wheat and these additives that they put in packaged foods are for our guts. And I'm trying to clear out the sludge out of my body and get rid of that leaky gut. So these things add up year after year with the junk food and the ice cream candy, muffins, and all the cereal that our parents gave us to eat for breakfast. With all that sugar, it's no good for us. We know it now. The preservatives that they're putting in these foods today are meant to stay on the shelf for a long time. Now, if you think about it, that really means they're chemicals, and they're paying more attention to the preservatives in the foods that we're buying, so they can stay on the shelf longer. Now, how long do we need these things to stay on the shelf anyway? This is not food. These are ingredients that are not designed for the human body. And these foods are becoming frankenfoods. And they're really not whole foods. A piece of fruit, an egg, a piece of meat, even some milk if you drink milk. Whole milk is what I recommend. These are foods. These are the good foods, the staples of nutrition. So the foods you buy in a package are created. And it seems very obvious to me now how awful it is when I have to open a package and try to pretend that the food inside is actually food. But I'm finally coming around to it. And there are some things I consume that are food in a package, like cacao powder or pork rinds, for example. Those are the safe ones. But this is the mentality we've had is, you eat what's in the house, or you eat maybe what your parents bought for you when you were a kid, and it stays with you through adulthood. So that brings us to today, where we're trying to heal first. And what I will say about the carnivore diet that I love so much is it's a shortcut to healing first. Some people would rather heal their body first, get things functioning properly, and then the weight just drops off. And so does the cellulite and the flab, and that's what the carnivore diet is great for. So if you want a shortcut to healing, keep listening and watch some of my other videos about the carnivore diet, because I can't say enough awesome things about it. I do want you to consider how you have treated your body over the years. And this is a factor I don't hear a lot of diet people talk about. How have you treated your body over the years? You may have gotten in an accident and been on meds for a period of time. All kinds of meds can affect your guts, and you have a lot of healing to do possibly. Stress levels can affect your body so that it doesn't work properly. Things can change your gut microbiome from consuming it too much. Soda is horrible for this. Diet soda is just as bad. And these kind of things over the years add up. And I just want you to consider that healing first by trying a carnivore diet, even if you want to do it for a temporary time, is key. The carnivore diet is fasting mimicking. So it is a fasting mimicking diet. So if you're watching this, you probably have some good idea about how healing fasting can be for the human body. So a lot of people have a little bit of a problem talking about fasting or considering fasting if they've never done it before. Now, everyone fasts every day, overnight, when they sleep. So it's very natural. Fasting mimicking means when you eat protein heavy, when you eat nutrient dense, as we are doing with the carnivore diet, and foods that satiate you and make you feel full faster and for longer, there is no need to eat in between meals. And a lot of people will even do OMADs, which is 1 meal a day. And I did that for a long time. I think I'm at the point now, being 2 years in, that 2 meals a day works nicely for me. So that's where I'm at. But I want you to consider OMADs. Trying OMADs 1 meal a day is a quick way to get started and get into ketosis pretty quickly and see how you feel. Of course, you have to keep up your electrolytes, your water, your salt, your pink salt, of course, these kind of things. And you may even need supplementation with some magnesium and 1 or 2 other vitamins. So fasting mimicking is what I love about the carnivore diet, because you're eating the fuel that is used right away as fuel. It doesn't hang around your body. It gets you in ketosis quicker, faster, for the healing process to take effect. The carnivore diet is the cleanest diet you could possibly eat. Now, you may have heard different and you're like, well, Misty, what about being a vegan or a vegetarian? Well, that is also a clean diet. And if you feel you would resonate better with eating more vegetables in your life, you can try that. But if you've tried that and something's missing, or if you don't resonate very well with more vegetables in your life, and you, like me, and always have loved the juicy meats, I go for the meat first. When I'm hungry, I want the bacon. I want the pork, chicken, beef. Beef being my favorite, has always been my favorite. And you don't mind the density when you're eating. Get that nutrition in your body fast. Then the carnivore diet is something you should consider. It is a very clean way of eating. And the way that vegetarians feel or vegans feel when they are eating clean is not so different than the way that carnivore eaters eat, where it's very clean, very nutrient dense. Now, the carnivore diet is much more nutrient dense than any vegan diet will ever be. So you have to know yourself. You have to be a little bit brave, because one thing I will say, to be fair, about the carnivore diet after 2 years, and you go out with people, guys, and you're at a restaurant and it can be awkward. But if you are somebody who stands out from the crowd just a little bit, if you consider yourself a leader, I'm going to go ahead and say you may want to try this. If you are one of those personalities like myself that likes to take the road less traveled, because some of us, we look around and we see people doing the same thing over and over. And it's insanity when you do the same thing over and over and you get the same crappy results, as we know. I hate that. That really bothers me when I see that. So I will sometimes try something that one of my friends may not try, or my group of friends, I may be the only one in a group of 10, let's say, who's going to try something like this. So knowing yourself is part of this. Now, if you say, well, Misty, I need more variety than meat, dairy, and eggs. And I like to have my salads quite often, and I enjoy that. And I'm staying away from packaged foods, but I like to have some fruit a little bit, or I may want to have salad more often, and it seems too boring to be on the carnivore diet. Then I'm going to tell you keto may be best for you. But some people try this for 30 days just to get things started, just to get into ketosis. Some things that the carnivore diet has provided for me that keto did not. So that I did them both for 2 years. So I have notes to myself on what keto did for me and what carnivore has done for me. And I have to admit, when I went on keto, I was in a lot worse shape. So I lost weight pretty fast. I had a lot more variety. And that was kind of fun. And I enjoyed that for 2 years. But I would find when I was on keto that there was so much variety that I would experiment a little too much when it came to cooking. And I would try all the faux recipes and the faux desserts, and that was really fun. It was definitely fun, but after a while, I noticed that I plateaued after a while, and I didn't really see my muscles yet. And I had a lot of cellulite. I still have a good deal of cellulite, but the difference is when I went over to carnivore, I'm starting to see my body composition change. Now, I keep the scale out of my life, and I do recommend, if you're doing carnivore, to put the scale away for a time. And I may save that for another entire video, and I will get into details why on that video. But my body composition is becoming firmer much faster than I saw on keto. I am starting to notice, like, I have never had a calf muscle in my entire life, and I haven't seen my collarbone for some time now. And I would like to have a collarbone at the end of this. It may take me a couple more years. Maybe you can hang out and watch me, see if I get a collarbone or a calf muscle. But I have a lot of fat through my stomach, thighs, and butt. And that's where a lot of us over 40 ladies hold our cellulite. So things like going to the beach and stuff like that, I'm hoping to go back to the beach and be able to just wear a 2-piece bathing suit. It might take another year or two, but these kind of things, body composition, less jiggle, this is more a carnivore thing, because a carnivore diet is very muscle sparing. Muscle sparing means you keep your muscle. And a lot of people who lose a lot of weight really fast will lose their muscle. And then they got to start all over again. And if you notice, a lot of people who lose weight really fast gain it back really fast. If you're doing the carnivore diet, you're not going to gain it back fast or at all, as far as I'm concerned. And if you gain it back a little bit on the scale, which I say don't use it, you will not see it. Your body composition completely changes. And you start to get, the good stuff back, keeping your muscle, noticing that your clothes look better on you, people saying things to you, getting your waist down a little bit faster than on keto. So going right to the nutritious food and eating the cleanest diet on the earth, as far as I'm concerned, cuts through the BS that all the salad and all the vegetables can bring some people. Meaning, some of us have a sensitive system or gut to where if we eat a lot of lettuce and a lot of veggies and too many veggies, we have inflammation still. And I found that for myself, that the less vegetables I eat, the more I will thrive. Keeping up a good exercise routine, it does not have to be anything severe, is very, very helpful. You will see results much faster when you eat carnivore. In general, eating low carb is the absence of carbs that will get you into ketosis even faster. And now for my truth bomb. My truth bomb about carnivore for 2 years, carnivore-based lifestyle, is it's a little boring. So, food, I want to say, is not entertainment. So I'm going to say it again, because I see this all around me. You know how many times I have eaten food to make someone else feel better? Too many times that I can count. I am no longer eating food for other people's entertainment, satisfaction, to calm their feelings about they made something and I didn't have a piece. I had to let that go. It's not good for me to eat food for other people. So food is not entertainment. So that means if you are using food to keep your life exciting, and I have done this over and over, year after year. It doesn't make you a bad person if you don't have other things going on in your life to look forward to. But I bet you, if you really, really talk to yourself and sit with yourself, you may have to bring up the things that really make you happy. Let's not let food be the source of our happiness. I see this on a daily basis and I've lived it. I even let alcohol be the source of my happiness for many years. And taking that out of my life was the best thing I've ever done, besides being on keto and then over to carnivore like I am now. Finding the things you love to do, the things that you would love to do if you didn't get paid, the things that you've always wanted to do, some of the things you may have put on the back burner because you're taking care of your family and you want to be there for your children and your spouse and your work people. This is all okay. However, I want you to consider with my truth bomb today that if you are using food for entertainment, it's not how it's supposed to be. Your art, your talents, your gift that you can bring to the rest of us is much more important, much more exciting, and basing your happiness on food, without being too preachy here today, is not healthy. Looking at yourself, looking at the parts of your life that you would like to improve is a good place to start. When I started to look at my health 4 years ago, I did not know how bad it had gotten. And I am still working on it to try to lose the sludge, the weight I've been carrying around, and trying to get rid of some stress out of my life has been very, very liberating. And the stress can also be food-based. So concentrating just a little bit less on food, a little bit less on meals. Our life does not have to revolve around this kind of stuff. And I want you to consider that the truth bomb today is it can be boring when you're on the carnivore diet. But if you're anything like me, you're ready for boring when it comes to food. It's almost inconvenient for me to eat at times. I could just keep on fasting. And I love that because it's not controlling me. I am in charge. And when you start eating more meat, dairy, and eggs in your life, and you start not being afraid of that butter, real butter, and embracing the nutrition first so you can heal first, get into ketosis faster, and lose the weight that you have put on over the years, your life starts to really start to make sense. You can get into doing some of that art, the things you really care about. And then you realize how easy it is to fix other things in your life. And that's where I'm at after 2 years on the carnivore diets. 90% carnivore, and I still include some things here and there 10% of the time, but I've never been happier. And I want you to consider these things today and keep tuned in with me. I have new shows just about every Monday. We also want to thank you for listening to our music. We are Black Eyed Soul, and my husband and I are in a band together and recording artists, and we play right here in this room. And we want to thank you for tuning in today. Peace out.